Did you know Jewish women have their own hijab? It's called a tichel, and it serves the same purpose as a Muslim hijab. So why is there so much backlash against Muslim women for covering their hair? Throughout history, women across many cultures covered their hair as a sign of modesty or piety. Many Christian groups today continue the tradition of head covering, influenced by verses like 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verses 5 to 6, which says, "But every woman who prays or prophesies with her head uncovered dishonors her head. It is the same as having her head shaved." For example, Amish, Mennonite, and certain Pentecostal and Orthodox Christian communities still uphold this practice as a reflection of modesty and piety. Orthodox Jewish women today even wear a shaitel, a wig that fulfills their religious obligation to cover their hair in public. This practice is rooted in the Talmud, specifically Berachot 24a, which states the hair of a woman is nakedness. Yet when Muslim women choose to cover their hair with a hijab, they're often met with hostility. Why the double standard? The backlash against Muslim women is not about the act of covering itself, it's about deeply ingrained biases. The hijab, in particular, has become a politicized symbol. In many Western societies, it's unfairly associated with oppression, extremism, or rejection of modern values. But these assumptions are rooted in an irrational fear towards Islam, better known as Islamophobia. Jewish women wearing a tichel or Christian nuns in veils aren't criticized because their practices are seen as familiar or part of a Western heritage. Meanwhile, Muslim women, many of whom are people of color, face intersecting biases of racism and Islamophobia. This makes their practices more visible and, unfortunately, more targeted. The hijab is also tied to colonial history. During colonial rule, Muslim societies were pressured to abandon veiling as part of a broader effort to erase their cultural identity. Today, in countries like France, bans on the hijab are framed as secularism, but they disproportionately target Muslim women, while ignoring similar religious attire in other groups. But here's the reality. For many Muslim women, the hijab is not a symbol of oppression. It's a choice, a way to express faith, identity, and empowerment. Assuming otherwise denies them the agency to make their own decisions. Why do we celebrate diversity for some groups but criticize it for others? This double standard isn't about secular values. It's about who is seen as us and who is seen as other. The truth is, whether it's a tichel, a veil, or a hijab, these practices deserve the same respect because they're all expressions of deeply held beliefs. So the next time you see a Muslim woman in a hijab, think about this. Her choice is no different from an Orthodox Jewish woman wearing a shaitel. If one deserves respect, why not the other? Let's challenge these double standards and foster true understanding. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, repost, and follow for more thought-provoking content.